Thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same without wasting a single second of your time. Bada bing, bada boom, we go. Just before the 10 o'clock hourly candle close of the pre-market, we're already got our Rhythmic linked up to NinjaTrader, so we're going to have to do this manually updating every now and again, but it allows us to hone in what's going on here. So we had a little bit of a push to the upside in the pre-market. Looks like they're getting a lot of buy side either induced and or liquidated of the shorts here. 247 contracts bought in at 418, 167, 111, 100. Basically a large amount as they go up to see what the potential interest is being generated to continue. If we look at this on the 15 minute, you can see the breakdown of the candles in the 15 minute within this hourly as we are about to close. And this is a 2-minute chart over here on the right. 51 contracts bought in right there, 20, 31, 33, 32, 32. So there's a large amount in that last push up here. Is that the liquidations of the 135 delta? Is that the last squeeze for the shorts right there before we start to retrace back down into the sell side? Let's go ahead and take a look at the momentum. What is all this new happiness going on with our indicators here? Well, this is momentummaster.info, link in the description for more. You can go down and toggle all of this at your leisure, or go ahead and turn on the stochastic array. In this case, stochastic array has monitors 7 different time frames of information over 32 different indicator values. So it looks like we're getting a bit of a fatigue across all those values. Does that mean we retrace on False Move Monday? Was that push to the upside only to squeeze the shorts before a drop down? Looks like on the 1 minute for the Optima here, we're getting some bearish divergence crystals on the RSI. Is that going to play out leading into the hourly close here? Getting a lot of sell-off wicks on the minute. How's everyone doing out there? What's up? Martos, thanks for stopping in. Those money bags are no joke. That money bag that entered there off the super trend just brought it back up. It was on the 32nd as well. Let's go see who else they are possibly squeezing on the buy side of things. 70 contracts either peeled off there or entered as shorts. If those were shorts, they could fuel the surge up some more. Let's go ahead and see what the 15-minute candle did. So the 15-minute candle closed out here, entered some sell. That's 70 contracts of selling. This also has a link in the description for more. This is the 𝗥𝗲𝗃 platform. You can also link up your accounts there to trade off of if you're looking for something to show you the footprints. If you zoom in, you can see all the candles, or zoom out rather, you can see the candles normally, but if you zoom in, you start to see what makes up the candles and the kind of volume profile for each. And if you go ahead and let's switch this to the 4-hour. So we can change the cluster value for this. It's highlighting this in yellow because we had ours set to 400, so we're going to do that. We'll set this to a 600 amount and then set this to, let's say, 400. And it will show you where a large amount of contracts entered. So you could basically get a heat map of large orders, buying and or selling, and then you can see which side of those they are. If we go ahead and indicators, let's go ahead and make sure this level is actually 900, and let's make that 600 or 700, let's say. So basically on a higher time frame, it'll tell you where those clusters were. And so like basically it shows you on, if I go down into this bit of happiness down here, there was 2,000 buy contracts and 1,000 here that entered at that point in the chart, and that's basically where it reverses. So you try to look for that fatigue point on other indications, if you will. So if we look at that on the 4 hour right now, we had a fair amount of buyers enter into this value area high, so we're looking at a potential short squeeze slash trap for the buyers if they do tend to sweep it back from this point. And that has happened before, where they come back and create a nice amount of buyers and then sweep back. And then when you get enough sellers down in the bottom here, then you start to see a reversal as well. So this is the definition of what buy side and sell side liquidity is about. So this is what you can see rather than guess what is in the charts. So we'll go ahead and go back to the 2 minute. 109 contracts entered there at 130. That was some squeeze shorts, most likely. And if we go ahead and take a look here, minute chart. So you're getting a few people trimming off profits and or entering shorts here. Still a lot of buyers. That was most likely the shorts that are squeezed from down here or below. How's everyone doing? What's up, Prehab? Just generally drifting up by the looks of it. Held the super trend on the 1 minute to a T right here with that money bag. Let's go ahead and get out of this triple mode and just take a look at everything from afar here, shall we? Let's just look at everything leading up to this moment in time. So we're reaching into this buy side liquidity range up in above this wick here. We have essentially we have essentially come up to that range, but not to the wick itself. The wick would be up in this 659 region, and the previous daily support structure rejection zone would be 715. If we look at the readjusted chart, we did create this huge gap as we readjusted up here on the NQ1. The NQ1 is the continuous contract, so we're going to be using that in general for analysis. And we're getting this nuke across the time frame, so getting a little bit of a retrace is not absurd to think, as you get different fatigue across multiple time frames. False move Monday established with the Asian in London and beginning in New York an upwards path. So if they're going up, then that is possibly an intention to go down after that point, to at least stop out some of the slow burn longs that were in this. Super trend holding from 2 p.m. my time, which was into the London session, start of the London session. The adapted moving average on the 5-minute has been a point where it bounced off of here. Cloud is mighty thick right now, so waiting to see what you would want to see if it was going to go to the downside would be where it attempts to break below it, and then it would basically get a bearish retest off that curvature, but it's still getting that supply off of that cloud right now. It's pretty strong. Let's go see what it took out here. So with the buys, they're trying to ascertain, are they stopping out shorts with this, or are they inducing more longs with these? This is definitely more longs. How's the audio sounding? Everyone good? No double audio today? So as I was saying, you get this curvature, right? So this curvature would be like so, and then if it breaks beneath it, and then you get this kind of thing happening where it bearishly retests that cloud as it wanes, then that's kind of a signal. And then if you're getting this, where you're getting some bearish divergence here, and you're getting this do not enter on optima, you're also getting that cascade to the 1 minute here, right there. it would have to fail the cloud if this was actually over, but it's been pretty strong thus far and holding since this money bag back here. Those money bags and the hidden bullish money bags, pretty strong. Getting that supply off it, unrelenting. Maker DXYY 1 minute bullish, NQ 1 minute bearish. Make or break here for me, taking the short on the 1 minute. You got to have like a you know, reasonable stop in terms of like letting it breathe a little bit, unless you can show that you're pinpoint sniper accuracy or something. But having like a flexible 50 to 100 tick stop loss to allow your trade to breathe so that your theory can play out is, from my experience, recommended. Like here I have like this 100 tick stop that I'm in right now. I was up 20 points and then I just let it chill out. But I count this as already a loss when I hit the button. So I'm not really like sweating it either way. It's gonna hit my thing or not. So I have this 100 tick stop loss here. This is the stop loss thing if you want to pause it or take a screenshot of it. It's like 100 tick stop loss, 100 take profit. And then the stop strategy actually like adaptively trails it once I lock in 100 ticks. And so that would be a decent idea to think about, not trading such a big size where where a 20 tick move will knock you out, but having like a theory behind it that's larger and a larger stop loss. Different play styles, of course. So we're failing that cloud idea we just said a moment ago, which you wanted to see for a short, which is this kind of retest and continuation idea. And this also, the bearish divergence starting to play out here. There was a little crystal here that appeared on Optima. It was so small that it didn't have time to even draw the line here, but that's on top of the price action is bearish. In general, like the nukes I've seen play out on Nasdaq as well, which is why I'm kind of taking the short here too. There's the flame. The flame is the money flow bearish divergence too. There's two money flow divergence formulas embedded in that gray line here, and that's the other one. So you have some money flow divergence playing out there bearishly. Let's go see the contracts, shall we? So this can be played live and it will update live, but then I can't have my Rhythmic account connected to trading. I can trade on this as well, but I want to have it all in a single button push so my copy trader can pick it up through NinjaTrader. So I need to link NinjaTrader through this, but I have to basically somehow update my NinjaTrader without erasing my workspace, which is kind of annoying. So overall, getting more buyers over here. The buy side liquidity stopped out here, getting a few pools of shorts / take profits on their longs, to be expected on a reversal point if there's a large amount down below trimming. And this is why we have the hourly to juxtapose with the 15-minute. We got 10 minutes till the open. Overall 3,000 in positive delta here, session-wise. So retracing a little bit into that positive delta would be not to be unexpected. You're getting the thinning of the cloud here on the 30-second. You see this thinning. Ah, no, it's cool, it's cool. And here comes your kind of break, retest / continuation idea. What's up, Bernier? So this kind of cloud formula is one of those little cool thingamajigs that kind of insinuates the lack of momentum or the shift in momentum. And you look at this on both sides of the equation when you're trying to break out as well, but same with bearishness, it doesn't really matter. We are getting the cross up and the hidden bullish crystal on the money flow and the RSI here, so it could surge up and beyond. This is where we check out these contracts to make sure there's, because like the one thing I've noticed is like the in between of from the bottom to the top of the candle, there's nothing. So it's like they go from where they grab some liquidity and then they jump to the other side of it, and it's sparse in between. So you'd think there's like this constant push of volume to push up the price, but it's like a jump, a skip to the next pool, to the next interest zone. It's quite fascinating, really. You could do a 14-day free trial of this to see what's going on inside the candles. Highly fascinating. Got the 15-minute here, the hourly here. So 45, 41. Is the sound all right for you guys? Having no sound is like weirdly strange to have. And I'm sure if I did this, right, like if I took this Fibonacci here, watch this, it's going to be an equilibrium thing. Is it going to hold? So going into the open, 8 minutes, T-minus 8 minutes. Actually 7 minutes now. And now you're seeing this curvature start to appear on the 1 minute. So as the 30 seconds starts to fail you, you look to that cascading to the 1 minute chart as it starts to curve on the 1 minute. And this is how you kind of like monitor your trade, quote unquote, and you're getting more flames as the bearish divergence on the money flow appears. You had money stacked back on the table, but then soon fade away as a stop loss hunt / B continuation to a C wave to the downside, perhaps unfolding. Wouldn't it be strange to note as our session delta is positive 3K, so going back into those 3,000 contracts of buys that are accumulating would be not absurd to think. And this was just a liquidity grab for the buy side, so let's go see what that accumulated to. So you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 1,000 contracts plus over here 12, 13, 1,400. So you have like a whole 1,400 in buy side, which could be stopped out shorts. So they do have 300 in short, 400 in short liquidity, but majority of buy in this last wick up here. So those are harpooned long / popped shorts that they could reasonably rotate back down on because they no longer exist. And so that's what it's doing, rotating down. And so this is how you see the delta unfold, what their market objective getting complete, and then rotating to the sell side now. And then you got 95 stopped out there. Those could be shorts, but those could be more likely stopped out some 95 contracts of longs that entered up here into resistance like a neophyte.
Fatality.
And that's what happens. And now that's turning into 100 contracts of sell side. So some of these longs that are trapped up in here getting stopped out or burst. And that's how you see the cloud kiss continuation idea unfold, the ABC, the lightning bolt off of that. And we got 4 minutes till the open. And you saw how that cloud angle insinuated fatigue, right? And then it basically kissed the cloud and then continued. So it happens across all assets. And here we are, back to the weighted and the adaptive on the 1 minute. The 1 minute's also thinning. We broke down at the 1 minute, getting the money flying away, flying away. Fly away, fly away, fly away. And we should be at a positive amount. If not, we are, hold on. Yeah, we're still down on this micro trade. Like I said, when we hit this, it was already a loss in our mind, so we're not even sweating it. It either hits this or it doesn't. And that's the end of that. So we're wanting it to see it come back down into some of that positive delta that it's accumulated through the Asian and London session. Go ahead and see this, yeah, on the 4 minute. 4 minute also telling you like watch out, momentum to the downside possibly coming. You had bearish divergence on the regular momentum master. Williams overbought significantly. It's hilarious. I'm gonna just change minutes so that this doesn't show so many nukes. Same with you. It still shows. It shows since I rebooted my computer, basically. Looks like I don't have to quit. Let's go. Yeah. Good stuff. So you see how this cloud on the 1 minute is now starting to wane, and you broke down through it? So that just gives you that monitor to your trade, and you broke the adaptive. So if you break this adaptive, then you're basically on the other side of the wall here. Got 46 seconds till open here. Let's go into the contracts really quick, see what's spawning in. So they took out like 100 at that one point. We're not going to be able to see this live, so we're going to have to go back on the open because it's going to move mighty fast and we're going to miss it. So here we go. 10 seconds. That could have been a stop loss hunt. Here we go. And the first move is to the upside. There's generally the first pivot. You're looking for that first pivot to which direction on the open. I used to play the opens, but not anymore. I mean, technically I shouldn't have been in this trade prior to the open, but we're gonna let it play out either way. Holding that adaptive thus far, money stacking back on the table. You had previous hidden bullish divergence on the money flow that triggered a stop loss hunt. You got an ABC that could be spawning into a D. Getting bought up here. Gonna get stopped out most likely. Let's go see what is cooking for the entries here. What is the amount of contracts? So they stopped out a bunch of buyers and then they spawned in some buy side, so that's a lot of shorts that got either stopped out or they're looking to possibly re-enter. So let's go ahead and move this up a little bit. So they got a lot of the, whatever that 106, they either stopped out some of the buyers and then now they're stopping out some of the shorters and getting a huge amount accumulated here on the hourly for the buy side, which to me suggests fatigue. So that's why we are still in the short, just chilling. Still chilling like a villain, looking to get paid or get stopped out, either way. It's just gonna go up. If it stops us out, it stops us out. Doing some pivot nastiness here. Some people laddering in left and right. Let's go take a look. Take a look. 191 buyers at 435. $440 stopped out 93. So the 659 region is where the top of the range for that previous left-hand most range of the left-handed candle would be, if that is their true market objective. It stopped me out. All good in the hood. Setup finished. Shouldn't have been playing into the open anyway. Chances are it's going to go back down because the buy side is building. Let's go see what. We're going to wait till the silver bullet in 30 minutes now. Either way. So they wicked up just to be sure, and then they took out some of the buyers' contracts, and then I don't know why. 15-minute. I see it moved over here. Alright, so let's go ahead and close that, minimize this real quick, and go take a look. Cloud on the 2-minute, still mighty thick. There's mighty thick volume entering off this volume weighted cloud here. Until you can pierce it, it's looking to go up further. There goes the Pierce Brosnan. So that first pivot was up, and then now they're taking it to the downside. The theory was correct. I just entered pre-market, which is my problem. If I had entered here, it would have been cush. Breaking that 8-bar super trend, all three of them heading to the 200 SMA, going back to the 600 level. Congrats if you were in that. What's up? Spragadocious. How you doing? Good? Hopefully. So they broke the 1 minute cloud and the 2 minute cloud. So this looks like it is a shift to the downside here for that delta to the downside that we were talking about pre-market that we got stopped out on entering too early. But the theory was correct to the downside, my friends, to the downside, to retrace into some of that, you know, nice delta that's been accumulating to the tune of 3,000. If you go to here on the 𝗥𝗲𝗃 platform, it says 3,000, 3K delta. That means 3,000 contracts positive have been accumulating over this session. So now you see we're coming back into the sell side. You're seeing this knockout to the sells, which is the imbalance to the buys that we were watching accumulate up here. You saw all these buy contracts, and now they're going to stop them out. So now you're seeing the sell side, 158 contracts, 89 contracts, 118 contracts. So they're going back to take out these buys that they induced up here, slash stopped out with the shorts, myself included, and then they brought it back down. And you could see that they got hundreds of contracts induced up here, and then boof, sharply reversed. And the Momentum Master also had you at hello with this nuke that was appearing called the stochastic array. Never before seen formula monitoring 7 different time frames. Does play out on Nasdaq as well. I've noticed the nukes play out time and time again. You had the bearish divergence leading up into this. If you had just seen this too, we had this here and this here on Optima. And that was a massive short. Hopefully some of you are still taking that. DXY rip on the 1 minute. Let's do that. Yeah, DXY getting like that 4, getting like a huge volume spike. People take it, the Fed trimming their profits and injecting it into the dollar. That was pretty good. I would have been able to like trim and take profits right there had I just like had a wider stop and or entered later after the open to just observe in my theory sooner, like rather than prematurely enter like that. It's all good. So they're gonna hook, line, and sinker some people here in a minute. They're back at VWAP on the daily. That's what this blue line is on 𝗥𝗲𝗃. And the point of control. That was 158 contracts stopped out there 2 minutes ago. Rip to those longs.
Fatality.
And if we look at it on the 15, we can see all of these contracts in accumulated total. A lot of sells now entering. And this is how the footprint chart works. You get to see where the majority lie. So in this entire move down, there was like sporadically less, and then it gets down to the bottom and you see the majority at the bottoms of the tops. And that's where they create that objective complete and then start to shift it. So the shift doesn't occur from like the volume, it occurs from the volume after the fact. So they're like, okay, we completed something, let's get out of here. And then when they complete something down here, then they get out of there. So it's fairly fascinating because within the candle itself, there's not really much going on. It's the residue of what happened before the candle starts to move. And so here we are, down at the bottom. Got a little bit of a money bag happening there, but not really much to see about it. Let me get out of this. And they're just ripping it. Congrats if you took that nice little juicy short. Anyone in that? And there they go. Just straight ripping it all the way down to the 200 on the 16 bar, ripped through all the super trends on the 32, turned it neutral, now bearish on across the 2. At some point you'll get a bounce just to stop out some of the late shorters. Fuck it, let's just do that. Try to recoup some of the oh my gosh. So you got a lot of cells, 300, 400, 5, 6, 7,000 in that region here. Back at the point of control, sub point of control region. They're just straight ripping it. Getting slight bullish divergence here. Getting some money stacked. After the money bag, could see a little bit of a bounce here, just for a little deep dollar cost average of the trapped longs bounce. That's what we're hoping to see for this, and then just take what is available, but it's not doing it. Ultimately, we're thinking that it's going to do something like this and continue lower. Whoops. So they hit one of the contracts out to take back some of that loss from that. Coming back to the 8 bar. See, there you see the bullish divergence after the fact. I was seeing it in the moment because of the flatter bottom there. Now it's cascading to the cross-up event on the 1 minute. But this is like going against the trend. This is counter trend trading, so it's really dangerous right now. So I'm about to close it. I didn't switch my ATM strategy to this to match this one, so I had to manually move it. That could have been all she wrote for that. Yeah, we're gonna close that in a minute. And there we go. So, okay, so it's took out both my contracts, so we could just move this to basically just below break even. All right, so that one was a win either way for the little mini bounce. Stopped me out for the runner, but it's all good. So ultimately, this is just chop consolidation that's going to ultimately lead to more downside in my mind because of the imbalance here. This is just a bounce to stop out the late shorters and get these guys trapped up here to dollar cost average to their demise. How's everyone doing out there? Good? The funny thing is we were like preempting the move to the downside with the cloud back here. You remember that? Back here we were seeing this thing, and then of course they had the manipulation of the open, but essentially that's what they wanted to do. They had to manipulate it first. So if it maintains the super trend up here at 592, then chances are you get rejected off the super trend and head a little bit lower. It's a shame it chopped up my runner, but it is what it is. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. The Cassandra complex of being right and not being in the trade to reap the benefits. Alright, so let's go ahead and see. Oops, not that. Let's go to the 𝗥𝗲𝗃 platform and see what. So you saw those cells that were entering right here. So you saw a bunch of people selling into the support, which is the stopped out longs and or late shorts. Either way, when you see a large amount of people stopped out, then you're going to go and kind of move away from that, right? So that's kind of what's happening at the moment. After they stopped out a bunch of longs, they start coming back into that zone. And now we're back at the 90 region. So you see all these stopped out. Let me go ahead and readjust this indicator thing. Indicators, we're going to change the cluster bar search back to 200 because we're on the 2-minute again, and this to 100. So it'll show you now all of the 100 plus characters that got stopped out and bought in and whatnot. And then if we basically take a look here, let's see, fib retracement down to that region. So you could come all the way up to here, basically come all the way down to there. If we start projecting out a trend-based fib, let's just say you get up to that region, right? We can adjust those as we go. Four minutes for the hourly close. Bear super trend. See, and that's why I was seeing this bullish divergence and I longed and just expecting a B bounce, if you will. And so now you're seeing the clouds start to shift in the opposite manner here. So if they're attempting to come up to the range high and continue, because let's say this does not come to fruition, right? This 236, going below this 236 would make that idea realistic. But if it does hold the 236 here, and let's say it goes something like boop, 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 then you could be starting to see a different narrative form too. It's best not to get like locked into one and only expect one, you know what I mean? So that's the opposite end of the spectrum that could be occurring in terms of algorithmic goodness, because this cloud is starting to shift here, and if it maintains that cloud, which is also the dynamic support and resistance that we saw shift and fail on the other side of this equation, you could be seeing that occur here. And as of this moment, it is fading. But I'm waiting for the hourly candle close. And so you had the money flying away off the table here from that two minutes ago, and it's been flying away since. It held that super trend to the letter. Look at that. So the bearish super trend is holding. Trend-based fib 236 in conjunction with that idea. We're going to actually close this. All right, so the hourly has closed. So as soon as it reclaims that 236, you want to let go of that idea. I'm currently flat for the record. It's reclaiming the cloud right now. Getting a bounce off of the 50 on the 8 bar. There's a fair value gap from the drop down over here at 627 and 611. That's what I marked off here. If we go and make that into a fib pocket level, it's the 618. Also a deeper retrace up here, the 786. Gotta be flexible. So the fact that it's holding this 236 / cloud on the 30-second gives me pause for the short. It didn't reach my equilibrium zone too, which is one reason why I hesitated. This is an idiot box, by the way, in case you weren't aware. Idiot boxes are just consolidation ranges which trap traders on both sides of the equation. Getting a kiss off the cloud here. Getting a do not enter finger down across 2 lower time frames. I sent you a DM what P blocks are, and they're literally just the center of a TD9 body. DX9 to rip again. Cool. I'll look at it as soon as I finish. So we broke the cloud back to the 236, possible re-entry for that bearish overtone if we hold this level at 572. I'll take that momentum break. Give it to me. Yes. Stop at break even. That's how adaptive stop losses work. So it'll just give me that burst. Give me the burst. And then stop me out. Boom. Quick 30 ticks. See, I saw that break of the 236. Break of the cloud. Just took it for what it was worth. Don't trust it right now. It's super choppy, but it like induced some liquidity here, and then I just took that for a ride for whatever it was worth. 30 ticks secured. Ultimately, in the wise words of Mr. Payton, is that these consolidation zones, if you will, are just generally see continuation inducement traps. So the guys that are trapped up here, the buys, if you will, the long people, want to see the bounce up, and they keep dollar cost averaging, and then if you're below this 236, you're pretty much good in the idea to come into this region, because they're just creating a trap for them to that they'll never see the light of day again, and then they come down to this region and liquidate them. You're getting a cross down event on the 1 minute. The cloud is ultra thick now. I'm done shorting it because I missed the opportunity, but I would have liked to have seen it hit a fib level or some sort of fair value gap or something, which is why I put on scalper gloves, literally and figuratively. And that's why that adaptive stop loss just like moves with it so quick that I don't even have it. It's faster than I can react. So that was one little quick 3-pack one. DXY about to rip again. Yeah, I just don't want to have that that bias lingering in my mind, but you get the idea. Because I could be missing something like that. Let's go check out the contracts that are getting activated here. So the previous 3,000 delta that we had is now down to 1,000. So this is how the delta gets recovered in terms of positive delta, in terms of contracts, 3,000 buy contracts being recovered to the tune of 2,000. So if we look at what has transpired in the last 15 minutes, you get a bunch of sells enter, the buys enter. Yeah, they're creating an ambiguous situation. So these red are already stopped out for the most part. Chances are there's not that many shorts that shorted into that. It's mainly the longs getting stopped out. So that all of the blue that you see is new longs being opened for the most part. Chances of shorts getting stopped out at this zone are fewer and far between. It's mainly the buyers entering here, so they're creating that buy trap at that 236 zone. I'll enter that shit, like if it goes through that 236 again. Let's see, hide this and let's do 3-pack, and we'll do that again. That's how you just go beneath the 236. Ooh, that was a quick like 40 ticks. And so basically what did I do again? I saw it break the 236, entered again, took like another 40 ticks off that 236 entry model. You got the finger down telling you the momentum is not on your side. And so that is the trap for the B wave set for the C down below. And see you later to the longs. So we took two little scalperoos off that, 40 ticks each. So we were 2 for 3. The pre-market one theory was correct. Our entry was too soon. Rejection off the 1 minute cloud here. Finger down twice telling you like, yo, it's going down. And sure enough, hopefully you guys are taking this. It's ABC. See you later. Let's go see what the another 300-400 contracts in shorts, in longs taken out there. Okay. And so this is how trend-based fibs work. You have this impulse and this retrace, and then the 236 is your guide. When it went beneath that 236 twice, we took it for some pointage in that direction. Can it make it down to the 0.65 and the 706 here? Would make sense if it did. Yeah, I'm basically recouping that first one. Most likely I'm back to near break even on that. I'm not even gonna check it until after the live. And so ultimately, in terms of like seeing some sort of liquidity grab, we're seeing the liquidity grabs of the longs that were induced by the early traders that saw this as a pivot and then got trapped up here, and then now they're taking all those longs for a ride and getting them to dollar cost average and basically taking them out each way. And so you'll see like a liquidation event, and that's what the C wave is. The C wave is saying see ya to their account. So those people trapped up there are in the A wave, trap, consolidation, and then liquidation. And then so you wait for that fatigue for wherever that level is going to be. The one level could even be where it's at. You could see some chop around this region, and then it just continues even lower. There's no guarantee that it goes up after that point. And so now we're looking for these cells, like a bunch of cells. A bunch of cells would insinuate the longs getting stopped out and their objective being reached in terms of liquidations. You see the delta, the session delta now back to 1,000 positive. So that 3,000 positive is now gone. On the hourly time frame, we're getting a bunch of cells down here at the bottom. Thousand contracts or so. Almost back to the value area low at 326 on this old contract. Still seeing some buys here. All of the blues are new longs, by the way. So these are all new contracts that add fuel to the fire to keep going lower, which is why we're not looking to long this per se. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening on the 1 minute. I just stopped trading to catch up a little. Oh, cool. So you see how it got rejected off of that adaptive / cloud, the cloud shift here. You had this like cloud shift on the 32nd here. And then we reached up and then got rejected and came beneath the 236, and then that's when I entered and then took that for that momentum straight into like 40 ticks. Because I already had the theory running that that's what was going to happen, you know? But it wasn't just like some idea in my head. It was like based off of what I've seen over and over again. So we could get about, like, based off this 30-second and this double bottom and the flat money flow and getting this money stacking thing, we could see this bounce up into the recovery of this gap on the 30-second. Let's go ahead and see. If you're wondering what this is, once again, this is the 𝗥𝗲𝗃 trading platform. You can try it out for 14 days and see footprint charts and watch tutorials on how to look at the clusters of where people enter and by how much. There's 184 buys that entered there at 348. We still have a lot of buys that are entering here. You can see that here on the 2-minute too. Not super satisfied with the sells just yet. We have 963 session delta in terms of positive buys still remaining. Cloud is mighty thick on the 30-second and the 1-minute still pointing down. Hopefully you guys are staying positive, staying green. That could have been all she wrote, but for the liquidity grab. Reaching the halfway point of the hour. Huge amount of buys down there at 350. They're probably coming back for that sell, the 389 sell here to make sure these aren't shorts. cloud is kind of tapering here on the 1 minute, and then you're getting slight bullish divergence from this. I don't know why it's, yeah, you're getting bullish divergence on the 1 minute here. Also on the 30-second. That's what caused this to bounce. How sustainable is it? Huh. Isn't that cool how the nuke played out though? We had the nuke up here and then now we're down here. I mean, you can't ask for more than that, like for something to do from 644 all the way down to, you know, 530, like $100 and something price action on a highly leveraged asset like that. This wouldn't be the region personally where I would be looking to go, but I don't know. I'm waiting for a little bit more confluence, like some bearish divergence. I need some like divergence or like one of these regions of overbought and oversold for me to be like buying it, you know, hardcore. This was ultra risky, which is why I was my stop loss. I was going off the 236 entry thing and it was really tight. We're back at the 236. I mean, technically this could be a D, and that could have been all she wrote.
Focus on something specific. Word. Phrase. Don't expect to name this quickly. Be patient.
This is like a little micro. We're back at that 236. Technically getting some, if it stays there and rejects, then that's some Be patient. Yeah, I was surprised that the nukes like kind of play out on the other things too. It's like anything with high volume's pretty spot on. So we're back in the range here, back in the idiot box. So breaking that 236, I could have taken that like idea again. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the order book once again. So it went up to the point of control and rejected at 380. That was 380 on that chart. So a bunch of these longs that entered up in here, getting stopped. Now we're entering into almost sub 1K delta, where we're going to enter into negative delta for the session. Where there's more sellers to buyers, as in all of the buyers that have taken their profits and entered as sells, either at a loss or, and then they start thinking about, okay, there's more sellers to the buyers, and then it starts creating negative delta, and then that starts to shift the opposite way, potentially speaking. So we're getting a rejection of that golden pocket. It's just coming back with that entire impulse out. That 236 though, the 236 entry model has been good in terms of creating an impulse out of it, engineering the buys, and then boop, out. More impulsive to the downside so far. Let's go look at that hourly. I want to see the hourly candle totals. So there's a fair amount, 200 plus down here in 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 2,000 plus contracts sold off down here, 1,000 plus spot up in here. A lot more buys coming up into here. You had a lot more of the buys at the top here as the shorts get stopped out. 45 in delta, so we're approaching the break even in terms of session delta, which means there will be more equal sells to buys coming soon. There's no low-hanging fruit for me here, so I'm just not taking any. And if I see a fruit like get ripe, then I'll just pluck it off the tree, but until that time I'm just chilling. To me, this was a fruit hanging from the tree, and I took it. It was still risky nonetheless. And even this one down here, but that still secured it for like 20 plus ticks. This one managed to turn into 40 plus. So you're starting to see the cloud shift here on the 32nd. And this could be a ABC to finish the leg down to the 530 region. Cloud still bearish on the 1 minute. You managed to get above it for a few minutes, but then it sharply broke back down. They have some objective they're aiming at with the targets they've accumulated up here in terms of the longs they're trying to liquidate, and they're not letting them out, so they're taking them consistently lower, and not getting, they're getting lower highs, you know. And then the fact that this came to the 0.5 of this entire impulse and then came down. I think that was the 382. Like if I take this back to here and then I change this to a regular thing, it basically went to like the 382, which was also this bearish super trend. So that was ultra bearish. The fact that it held that 382 without coming back to the halfway equilibrium point. That's why you saw me put this fib up, and I was hoping that it would come up to the equilibrium and I would have gotten in at the top of the B, you know. I didn't expect the B to fade at the super trend exactly, but it did. And, you know, so now we're putting it here for a possible continuation idea if it does manage to get back up to this level. Oh, have a good night, man. Thanks for stopping in. Hopefully catch you again tomorrow's. Shout out to all 7 of you that are on the live stream. It all has to start somewhere, right? Can I get a roll call of who's watching, if you don't mind? My monitor's so big I have to like turn my head around my mic like this. So if you see me like going like that, I'm like trying to literally see one side of the monitor like a movie theater. It's crazy. Getting a fair amount of sells here though. Fair amount. Got that 347 in buys though in total here at 350. I'd love to see one more push down, personally. it's too like sideways for my idea to enter anything right now. Yo, what's up, Smurf Rainier? I'll get my mate in just out of it. Sorry, bro. First world problems. At least it's not too small. Nice. Alright, so we're going to close this out. Hide it. And you're just seeing a slow kind of shift in trend as it kind of breaks down on the 16 bar here, leaving some unequal highs so that it can come back and break these. More evident on the 8 bar here, you see that there's left intact, so there's some pools that they could come back to. Same with the unequal lows here that they could come back into. That's the C that we're looking to see happen. Basically came back to the 50 SMA on the 32 bar, now neutral. Could go either way. This could be a shift, pullback, continuation, rise, retrace, continuation. It's all the same lingo. We're back at the 200 on the 16. Technically, you could go to the 4 bar and see this stuff. It starts to lag up my stream in the system though if I do this, but let's do it anyway. And so you could be scalping this little bit of happiness here from 48 on up off the SMA here. Seeing the MACD shift. Yeah, this little mini bullish divergence on the 30-second, money stacking up on the table here. 1 minute also giving you the bullish divergence with the money stacking up. You guys playing the little scalpers like Chop? You playing this? You playing all these little mini ones? I caught like 2 of those little drops out of the 236 there. Nice. 20-pointer, cool beans. Yeah, there's a lot of sellers down there. So they got their they got a slight little bit of liquidity off that, you see. So there's a huge amount down in this region at 144, 117, 103. And we're back at the point of control, just about. It's interesting. So all of this wick, you can see, like the majority of the wick has sellers down here and then buyers, buyers, buyers. But like it's the first time, like, you know, getting to look what's happening inside the candle. Like it was always in my mind like it's just buyers straight up through and through, but no, there's like the majority of the sellers happen at the bottom of the wick, and then you start to see the buyers come back in. And conversely, with, you know, when we were looking at the top at the beginning of the stream, we were seeing a bunch of buyers up here at the top of the wick. And so, yeah, you just look for that kind of red to happen down below, and that insinuates the reversal. And then if you're looking at this 𝗥𝗲𝗃 thing, you can set the clusters to have a certain little color schemata for a certain number, and you can backtest that number across whatever time frame you're in. Yeah, I'd say essentially this is now complete. Whatever you were going to get out of that C wave has now completed itself. Entering the last 15 minutes. Getting a kind of 1 minute shift in reclamation on the cloud. Thinning as well. Could have been that play off the 32 bar 50 SMA right there, starting to reverse out. 16 bar double bottom, 8 bar like larger period double bottom, but double bottom within a double bottom, and that 4 bar rev out play. Yeah, the chopping, the sideways, there's basically some days they have the trendiness within the New York session. Like about 2 weeks ago they did that, but on Monday actually. But for the most part you're getting just this up and down range bound motion. So does it start the trend? Starting to see the shift on the 1 minute, suggesting the narrative to that downside from the nukes could be over. The baseline cross at the 30-second has been pretty consistent. Basically, the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 have played out. You had some chop going into the hour, but for the most part, 30-second crosses have been pretty fired. Now you're getting a cross down event. All right, 8 minutes to the candle close on the hourly. Just now you had about 133 buys enter, previously 171 down at the 181 region. Sorry, 381 region, about $5 ago. And you can see this on the cluster on the 2 minute here. You're seeing 100, 100, 100. So you're seeing some buys enter. We're back up in the positive range for delta, about 1K positive, back at the point of control. Now, what is the point of control? Well, we will zoom out on the hourly to show that to you. The ATAS thing automatically calculates it for you each session and then gives you the value area high, the value area low, and the point of control. And it seems to honor them if you trade within the value area low to high, and so on and so forth. And the VWAP, we currently bounced off the daily VWAP. I'll be happy to share my settings for this if you just are interested in registering. I talked to the team of the guys out there. They're actually in Ukraine. They make this over in Ukraine. My friend's gonna probably meet up with them. He's actually in Ukraine right now. So yeah, you got 151, 107 opening up into that resistance, which suggests the fatigue zone. Now, if you connect your Rhythmic up to this, or a Rhythmic account, then you could basically get this live and see what it's doing live. We're just updating it because we're connected into the thing. I don't even know if we're going to take the trade, so I might as well disconnect and show you. Why don't I do that actually? Let's see. Connections, disconnect the Rhythmic, and then if we go to here, we can connect the Rhythmic up, connect. And when we do so, all of this will become live feed. Now I could do that with NinjaTrader alone and it will mirror what I'm seeing on NinjaTrader, but I have to upgrade to the latest version of NinjaTrader, and that's going to be a bit irritating because I might lose all of my settings from my chart, so I'm a bit worried. So this is what it looks like. And how it like jumped right there, there was like nobody, it must have been orders that are unseen that pull it up. Either the shorts, the 88 shorts that entered there and causing it to bounce. And so you notice that there's like all these buys entering up above the candle on the wicks, and then the sells ideally enter down in the bottom nether regions of the candle. So when they reach a certain objective of what they're looking to stop out and or trap, then they go the opposite way. And then you can set these clusters to notify you when a certain number of objective is reached. So they got 402 at 375, 344, a bunch of buys up there induced. As we enter the end of the hour, perhaps we'll have another trade alert go off in the Discord within the Momentum Master community after the stream. We'll see. '87 stopped out there. So we'll wait for the hourly close and we'll bid you adieu. Thank you for sticking with us thus far. We were 2 for 3, and the theory on the first one was totally correct. We just should have waited till after the market opened for that ideal entry. It is what it is. So that was a huge delta sell-off, minus 354 off that drop. This candle will essentially be an indecision doji for that entire hour. It will be just a huge wick on both sides, and you see all of the contracts within. So you basically have, you know, your sells and your buys trapped on both sides, and looks like they're starting to aim at hitting more of the sell side at the end of the hour. Which brings us back to that B to C continuation for the entire hour being just one big B consolidation. Idiot box. And that's it, the close of the hour, ladies and gents. Hope you enjoyed False Move Monday alongside me. We'll catch you again tomorrow's, and yeah, let's go see what's going on for the end. Starting to get a shift in the cloud. We rejected off the cloud. There was a continuation possibility, but could be a bearish retest to continue lower. Looks like it could be seeing its way down. And on that note, thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me, this eternal moment of which we all share, an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same, bringing the fire, the action, the precision.